Orion Pax 123 said, had to look it up because you guys mentioned it. Lawrence of Arabia was shot on 70 millimeter film. So even better than VistaVision. But yeah, gorgeous movie and good pick. I wish more modern films were shot on that format. Another one shot on 70 millimeter, which would be my pick of one of my all-time favorites, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Have either of you seen it, and your thoughts? Of course I saw 2001. I'm a Kubrick fan.
I actually answered him.
Oh, did you write him back?
Yeah, I told him, I said, we're both Kubrick fans.
Yeah.
Why would we not watch 2001 when we watched the actual moon landings that he shot? Have you ever seen the conspiracy that it's a Kubrick's dying confession that he shot the moon landings?
Come on. Where's this now? Did that pop up
YouTube
on your
it.
phone right after
No,
the
YouTube it.
after the 9/11 one?
Steve.
I saw the one where he said he drove the plane into the South Tower.
No.
Um,
Steve, help me out.
all right, Steve's trying to find it feverishly right now. The
He's got a beard. He's laying in bed. He looks like Santa Claus.
Okay, so did this happen? No, Stanley Kubrick did not admit to filming. Oh boy, filming the moon landing. This is a persistent conspiracy theory that has been debunked. The claim that Kubrick admitted to faking the moon landing footage is based on a video featuring an actor impersonating Kubrick.
So we actually
filmmaker.
think that they're going to say. So look up. Was Kennedy killed by a lone shooter?
Here's that. So is this the one you're talking about? This is the.
I don't know. Is that it? What is that? What is that?
So, was it difficult? I mean, committing the greatest fraud. I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not saying it's a
lot about that at the time.
I know, so I'm not making moral judgment, but making this huge, ambitious, technical faux landing, was it harder than 2001? Was it very difficult? I mean, what was the experience like? Artistically, practically, emotionally, what was it like?
Nothing was harder than 2001.
So 2001 was harder than faking the moon landing?
It actually was.
Because you learned things on 2001 and...
Yes. I mean, 2001 was very ambitious. And
So this was never made. So I don't know what the fuck we're watching.
It's an actor, is what the thing said. That this is not him. It was an actor portraying him.
I love the there's all these different outtakes and shit where the fucking lighting grid falls on one of the astronauts. I guess we're gonna want to retake this, right? You ever seen any of that shit?
No. I saw the one exhibition into space that we played. It wasn't the moon landing. I forget which it was, but where you can kind of see the strings hanging. But I was
this
told
is what happens when you get older.
What's that?
This is what happens when you get older. So everything that you believed in growing up, that you landed on the moon,
Santa Claus.
That I never believed that Kennedy I never believed in that Warren Commission bullshit. It just didn't fit.
Then you must have quit.
Yeah. But then the 9/11 thing, it was just like, when it first went down, I was just like, and my whole thing is, it doesn't really fucking matter what the cause was, because fucking Americans died and first responders died. Like, that's, it's still like, I don't take anything away from, because nobody that was there that day was in on anything. They were just trying to fucking do their jobs and save lives. And I'll guarantee you, man, like, you watch clips and you watch people jumping out of windows. I don't care if fucking it was thermite or not. That motherfucker looked down from 80, 90 stories and said, fuck this, I'm not burning. And threw himself out of a window, or herself out of a window. It's an American tragedy. I'm not taking anything at all.
No, of course not. No, we're just talking about.
My whole thing is that it's just, if it is thermite, and if it is some kind of fucking bullshit thing that somebody did that was an inside job, it's even more horrific.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to do anything to fucking to take one person's fucking life is just. Have you heard any of the conspiracies down here with the fog?
Not one. Please tell.
Oh God. So we've had these crazy fucking fogs come in, and they're saying that they've tested them, and there's all these chemicals and shit in it. And it's a reason that pneumonia's through the roof and all these other upper respiratory sicknesses. One thing I have seen a lot of and read a thing on Reddit is a lot of people are like their kids are getting sick and they're taking them in and they don't get a flu test done on them and the kids are sick and the key is to have a flu test done, especially for anyone. Just get a flu test if you're sick as fuck, and because if you're negative for the flu test and for COVID, there's a really good chance that you probably got walking pneumonia. And that's been a huge problem right now with this ammonia. The pneumonia's fucking through the roof.
Yeah,
I've
my
had a
oldest
bunch of
was,
yeah, I've had a bunch of my buddies that have fucking have gotten it.
it didn't get to her lungs, but she tested negative for the flu twice, and it was like it didn't make sense to me. It was she had a fever for like 9 days, and this is when she was home over Christmas break. I was the one in the house that didn't get sick, of course, because it's the bovine colostrum. But I couldn't believe that it was. So then you start to go through all because then there's the SARS discussion, which is starting again. That's
Right.
around. But yeah, it was brutal. And my little one kept getting sick. There is shit going around. And just seasonally, this tends to happen, and it seems to get worse every year. I don't. Maybe I'm just getting older and more out of touch because I don't like heat.
I'm always gonna go on the Bill Gates TED thing where he said that the only way that this fucking planet makes it is if there's a mass, like 4 billion or 5 billion people, like a mass extinction pandemic type thing. And I kind of,
If we eliminate ourselves from the equation, the planet can survive. You're saying if we
well, I mean,
clear
just
ourselves off.
take a little, just take a little pressure off,
Yeah.
like 80% of the population.
Kev, earlier in the year, or maybe last year, we were talking about we had both landed on a Rock Hudson documentary
Yes.
by chance with our spouses and watched it. And today, you kind of never expecting me to respond because I watch nothing these days. I just don't have the time. And you go, I saw this thing, the Kings of Tupelo. I said, watched it 2 nights ago. Just